Hello, hello, wildflowers. Welcome to the Empower Portal membership. I'm so happy to have you here and host you in the 7th workshop today for Crystal Clear. Crystal Clear is the program you have access to in the Power Portal. It's 7 days, 7 workshops to teach you how to have crystal clear energy. So today is the last workshop for that. So crystal clear energy comes from understanding how you show up in life affects yourself. And in the chakra world, there are 7 chakras, and they all have a piece or an attachment to your life, your body, and your energy. And I want you to understand how what you're doing in your everyday world feeds into these power portals. So today we are going into that last power portal and how you can feed it and how you can nourish it and how you can expand it more. So if you're like, Erin, I don't want to talk about the chakras, that's okay. I wanted you to think of them as power portals. These are actually portals in your life that you have access to create transformation long term. Okay, so imagine a power portal like a wheel, and the wheel spins. And I'm going to use the bike example. I really like this one. You're riding your bike. Your power portal's open. The wheels are spinning. There's air moving through the tires. It's like an open window, right? Air is moving in and out. You're like going. There's flow, there's ebb, there's ease. You're like, yeah, let's keep going. And then your tire goes flat. And then it's like clunk, 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 clunk. So you're kind of still moving, but it kind of doesn't feel that good. So these are the times in your life that maybe there's things in your life that are kind of sticky or resistant, or you're setting boundaries or moving through change, right? It's kind of like, oh, okay, like, and then eventually you might even come to a stop. And then that means the chakra has closed, or the power portal has closed, and you don't have access to that anymore. So we want to keep things moving. And if we understand how things move, then that helps us to do that. And sometimes when we're moving through our life, there are certain times of our life where certain chakras are more activated than others. So for example, if you are moving through a time that you are in a place of setting a lot of boundaries with people around you, you probably are exercising the muscle of the throat and the solar plex power portal. Whereas if, say, you're trying to get pregnant and you're feeling really resistant in getting pregnant and there's some stories coming up, you're probably working with the sacral. And this works for all of them. Those are just 2 examples that kind of come to my head, but that's what goes down. So today we're working with the crown, and the crown is the top of your head, kind of where your baby soft spot is. And our baby soft spot actually doesn't close fully ever. And this is our access to higher power, higher knowledge, higher, you get those ideas that pop in, you're like, whoa, where's that? Where'd that come from? And that's kind of where this is. Now in my world, I teach this. I teach each chakra as an energetic archetype and a female embodiment archetype, so that when you're building your business, your brand, your whatever you're creating in life, you can feel happy, whole, and fulfilled in your body. And the embodiment archetype of this one is the leader, is the community leader that you're here to be. Because once you get to this chakra, you have opened and solidified all of these. Okay? Because in my world, I teach confidence to women, and there's 3 pillars to confidence: empowerment, expression, and embodiment. And those 3 pillars all have to do with the 3rd eye down. So this one's a very different portal than the other. So empowerment is all about the root and the 3rd eye. Expression is all about the solar plex and the throat. And then embodiment is all about the heart and the sacral. And once those are moving and grooving together, that's when you really are in your full power as the female leader that you're here to be. And when I say the word leader, I don't necessarily mean you need to be leading other people. I don't mean you need to be a high boss. I mean that leading yourself in the way you want to lead. Self-mastery. Nothing to do with anything out there. Just you. Okay? So this power portal, the color is violet. So if you want to imagine violet, if you want to go into the meditation portion of the Empower portal in general, what I mean is like the actual power portal, like with all the videos, there's meditations for this center too, so you can go and feel that out. And the affirmation for this one would be, I know. I know. There is these deeper knowings that exist inside of us. I know. So you see is here, I see, I know. And it's not an I know from a place of I'm right, you're wrong, I know the best academic shit ever, haha. It's an I know, like I know my worth, I know who I am, I know what's going on, I know what I need, I know that there's someone higher, something higher, maybe not someone, but something higher, there's a higher guiding force that has got my back, and I've got my own back too. It's this like higher vibration, your highest self, whoever that is to you in this lifetime. So with that, there's a masculine and a feminine expression within the power portal itself. So now I'm back to talking about the power portal in the center. And a masculine expression isn't man or woman. It is a feeling in your body, and we all have both, right? When you go to a yoga class, there's yin, there's yang. Yin is soft and gentle, yang is power and flow. We need both in our bodies. So when you're thinking of the masculine, when it comes to this center, this is pure joy. This is your center of joy, of pleasure, of play. Like you're in your element at this point. So feeling pleasure, play for no reason. Because a lot of the times, right, I think I was mentioning this in one of the other videos, something along the lines of, once you finish your dessert, you can then have, once you finish your dinner, you can then have dessert. Once you finish your homework, you can then do what you really love to do. Once you do this, you can do that. And if you kind of lived in a life like I did like that, where pleasure came after doing something, this concept might be, take you some practice to get into. It definitely did for me to like choose pleasure and play over the doing, because we're so conditioned to do it and then receive the pleasure, where that's completely backwards. That's completely backwards. When we're feeling pleasure, when we're feeling play, we're lit up, we're activated, we're in alignment, we're in our purpose, we're in our power, right? So we want to start to switch that. We want to start to switch that in your body. So anything that you do for pleasure, straight up. That, and then when I'm talking about pleasure, I'm not talking about sexual, I'm talking about the simple pleasures of life. So sitting on the deck in the sun, drinking a juice. Something like that. Sitting outside on the grass with your feet in the earth. Running naked into the ocean. Whatever your femme flow, aka your freak flag, wants to do, go ahead. Let your freak flag fly, let your femme flow fly, do your thing, because you want to feel inner childlike joy, because when you do, that is when you're vibrant. So the doing over here is, hey, are you doing your passions? Are you doing your purpose? And my brother-in-law is a really great example of this. He loves fishing. He loves fishing and he loves golfing, and they really bring him calm and quiet inside. So he prioritizes having that in his schedule always. He will ditch people to be able to go do that, because it brings him back to him. So I ask you now, what are your things? What are your things that you might not be making time for right now because of all the other doing that you're doing, right? We want to start to switch that. Now, that's the masculine. It's like putting it in the schedule, being like, okay, Sundays 12 to 3, it's me time, whatever I want to do. If I want to read my book, if I want to go shopping, if I want, like, your pleasure, like nothing, nobody else, just you. Maybe that looks like making sure you have things in your schedule that you're really excited about, like if you feel joy traveling or doing this, are you allowing yourself to go travel, go in nature, go do the things that you really love? Or are you putting it off until later? Until you finish ... until you do ... until the to-do list is done. Oh, I got to do my to-do list and then I'll have a drink with a girlfriend, right? Like, no. Now the feminine side, how do you want to feel here? Now I want you to start with the feminine. If you're getting into your journal and you're starting to integrate this work into your life, get into your journal and ask yourself, hand on heart, hand on belly, be like, what brings me pleasure? What in life brings me pleasure? What in life brings me joy? What is exciting for me? And then how would this look for me? And start to write that down, and know that I've worked with clients, with women who have been disconnected from their bodies and they don't know the answer to those questions. And know that that's okay too. It's a really cool place to start. If you don't know what brings you pleasure, if you don't know what you enjoy doing, it's a really great place to start right now, to be like, okay, what can I do? What do I like to do? And I always recommend to clients to do a joy list, to write a list out on paper of things that bring you joy, and keep growing this list so that you know when you're in a lower mood or when you're stuck in your head and you're like, oh fuck, another goddamn to-do list, I just can't do it. You can be like, I deserve pleasure right here, right now. Like, I deserve to have fun. How can I make this more fun for me so I can do the doing but feel pleasure while doing it? You can go to this list and be like, oh, and you can feel inspired. You can feel inspired and be like, oh yeah, I could go for a little walk right now. That would feel much better. And then I can come back to it. Because so often we get caught. We just get caught in it and we forget to step out of all the doing, because sometimes we validate ourselves through that. So you want to be able to shake your energy up. And knowing what brings you pleasure and knowing what brings you joy is a huge piece to that puzzle. And a lot of the times, we've talked about it all the way up, but this is where your life becomes your playground. This is when everything feels aligned and life is now joyful. So for example, in my life, I have now kind of cut the cords with a lot of what I haven't been aligned with. And I had this moment the other day where I was at home and I was reading my book in the morning with my tea in my hand, and I felt so good, and I was like, oh my God, this is my life. Like, I chose to build my life this way. And you kind of feel guilty a little bit, but that's the way we're supposed to do it. We just weren't taught how to do it that way. So I want you to start to pick apart your days and interject joy. Put a diffuser on, have a cup of tea that you really love, go out and get yourself a chocolate bar. Like, do what brings you joy without apology at all. So when you're in your journal, ask yourself, what is this highest vision leader that you want to be? Do you want to be a leader that's working all the time? Do you want to lead yourself in that way? Like, if your girlfriend came to you and said those things, be like, oh my God, I'm working all the time, I haven't gone out, and what would you tell them? Well, go have fun. Go do something pleasurable. Go have joy. Go travel. Go activate the inspiration inside of you again. So once you paint that picture for yourself, you're like, okay, I really want to make more time for gardening, and I want to make more time for creative play, and I want to make more time for my family, or whatever this piece is for you. I want to take more time in the bath. I want to paint, I don't know, whatever that is. And then you go, okay, I really want to paint more. Well, I don't really have paintbrushes. I left them at my old apartment. Now I live somewhere new and I don't have paint. Okay. So you take that, be like, what do I need to do to start making this transformation, this energetic level up, this energetic calibration? And then you bridge it. You're like, okay, I got to go to Michael's or my local craft store and I got to get some paintbrushes. So you go get the paintbrushes, and that's your inspired doing. That's your masculine. You're taking your vision, you're taking the energy, you're taking the feeling behind what you're doing, or what you want to do, you desire to do, and you're bringing it over and you're making it happen. So if you miss this bridge, if you miss this gap, nothing's going to happen in your life. If you're still just doing the doing and caught over here in the habitual patterning that has existed inside of you already, you're not going to get an opportunity to change the reality in front of you. So that inspired action piece is huge, and I invite you to do small pieces of inspired action. Tiny pieces, tiny pieces, tiny pieces. Okay, and in the world of business coaching, which I do as well, more of the brand and creative side of things, once we get your body feeling good and you're feeling happy inside of you, I do have a third layer to this, and it's the business side of it. Like, it's what you bring into your business. And this here is community. This is community when you're a business leader. So when you are set up alignment wise in your body, you are at your heightened state of power as a community leader. You see people, you can hold yourself in your own energy, you can hold them in their energy, you can do it all. And being someone who is a growing community in my world, like, it does take time to have capacity to hold yourself and all that you are and other people. Because as soon as you bring other people onto your team, or your numbers grow on Instagram, or whatever the case may be, it means more problems as you start to scale what you're doing, right? So you want to be able to be really secure in who you are as a leader, so that as these things come up, because nothing is straight, nothing is like, oh, it's going to go from A to B to C to D. There's always something that comes up and comes in. That's the feminine. She loves to come in. So you want to be able to stay grounded as change comes through. So if you're looking at that aspect, if you are already a community leader, add that into your vision. Who do you want to be, not only for yourself, but for your people? For your people. And that's really where you stand up in your power, because that's when you have to drop the ego and step into it. Cool? So we are going to do a little mini meditation just to kind of wash away any energy or density that might live at the top of your head or the top of your energy, just so you can come back to you. So you'll sit up nice and tall. And if you do want to lay down for this one, you absolutely can. And I'd like you to take your right hand onto your lap palm down and your left palm on your lap palm up. So your right hand is your masculine. So we're going to ground down into stability and structure with the right hand. And your left hand is your feminine. So it's your receiving hand, right? It's your receiving hand. It's the one that's connected to the heart. We wear our engagement rings on this side because our left ring finger, there's an artery that's all the way connected to our heart. So this left hand's pretty special. And then once you sit up nice and tall, you can come back to the breath. Breathe in through your nose, up into your belly, your ribs, your chest. And then breathe out your nose. Feel the chest, the ribs, the belly start to ground. And do that again. Breathe in to the chest, all the way up to the chest. Then let it go. Exhale. Land in your body here. And I want you to imagine you were sitting in a gold bubble, kind of like Bubble Boy. And it was a big bubble around you, and your energy was inside the bubble. And on the outside of the gold bubble, there are little threads, little gold threads that are reaching outside of the bubble. And there's a lot of them. There's many of them. They're going in all directions. And while you're sitting here with your root pressing into the earth, whether you're sitting or laying down, I want you to imagine calling the gold threads back into the bubble through the top of the bubble, and the gold threads washing over your body. So the gold threads are going to come into the bubble, roll up to the top of the bubble, come down the bubble, wash over the top of the head like you're being poured with gold all over your body. And I want you to feel that. Call your power back through the bubble, bring it down and spread it all over you. We tend to give our power away, right? So draw the gold cords. They're all your power you've given away to other people, to family members, to friends, to everything. Bring it in, 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 drawing it in and up, bringing it down the body. Start to feel your body be poured over with gold, down through the crown, down through the third eye, down through the eyes, the cheeks, starting to go down the throat, the shoulders, moving down through the heart space, really solidifying your magic, your power here, going down to the solar plex, the back, the front, the ribs. This gold is starting to take over your whole bubble. Your power is fully coming back. You're fully charging up to be the leader, to be the woman you want to be here. Bring it down to the sacral, bring it down to the root, all the way down to the feet. Breathe into here. I'm going to go quiet for just a moment here, just to feel it. You might be feeling sensation in your body. Know that all is welcome. Just notice that. And if you want to keep going, if this is feeling really good for you to call this back, some days we need more time here than others. You can go ahead and pause me and keep going. If you're ready to move on with me, you can take your left hand over the heart space, right hand on top. Breathe in through your nose, out through your mouth. You can open up your eyes, come back to me. Notice how you feel. If anything came up for you, you want to journal it out or take notes from the session, go ahead. Thank you so much for being here and learning this new information with me. The Queen in me honors the Queen in you, and I really hope you have a fantastic day wherever you are.